Did you know that making just 5 small changes to your daily habits can reduce your carbon footprint by up to 50? That's a significant impact, and it's easier than you think. First, let's talk about what a carbon footprint is. It's basically the amount of greenhouse gases that are released into the atmosphere as a result of our daily activities, like driving, using energy, and consuming products. Now, reducing our carbon footprint is crucial because it helps to slow down climate change, and it's not just about polar bears and melting ice caps. It's about our own health and the health of our planet. So, what are these 5 small changes that can make a big difference? Well, let's start with the first one, reducing meat consumption. Now, I'm not saying you have to become a vegetarian or vegan, but just reducing the amount of meat you eat can have a significant impact, because animal agriculture is a huge contributor to greenhouse gas emissions. For example, it's estimated that around 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions come from livestock. That's more than the entire transportation sector. So, try to have a few meat-free days a week, or replace meat with plant-based alternatives. It's not only good for the planet, but it's also good for your health. The second change is to reduce your energy consumption. Now, this is a simple one. Just turn off the lights, electronics, and appliances when you're not using them. You can also replace traditional light bulbs with LED bulbs, which use significantly less energy and last longer. Another way to reduce energy consumption is to adjust your thermostat. Just a few degrees can make a big difference. And you can also use power strips to plug in your electronics and turn them off with one switch. The third change is to use public transportation, walk or bike, whenever possible. Now, this may not be feasible for everyone, but if you live in a city or have access to public transportation, try to use it. Not only will it reduce your carbon footprint, but it's also a great way to get some exercise and save money on fuel and parking. You can also consider carpooling or using ride-sharing services, which can reduce the number of cars on the road and lower emissions. The fourth change is to reduce your waste now. This is a big one, because we throw away so much stuff, from food to packaging to clothes. Try to reduce your use of single-use plastics, like water bottles, straws, and bags, and opt for reusable alternatives instead. You can also compost food waste and recycle as much as possible. It's not only good for the planet, but it's also a great way to save money and reduce your trash bill. The fifth and final change is to buy sustainable products now. This can be a bit tricky, because there are so many products out there that claim to be eco-friendly, but may not be. Look for products that have minimal packaging, are made from sustainable materials, and have a low carbon footprint. You can also buy second-hand products like clothes, furniture, and appliances, which can reduce waste and support local communities. Now, making these changes may seem like a lot, but trust me, it's worth it. Not only will you be reducing your carbon footprint, but you'll also be saving money and improving your health. And the best part is, you don't have to make all of these changes at once. Just start with 1 or 2 and see how it goes. You can always add more later. It's all about making small changes that up to make a big difference. And it's not just about you. It's about the planet and future generations. So, what can you do today to start reducing your carbon footprint? Well, you can start by making a few simple changes, like turning off the lights or using a reusable water bottle. You can also do some research and learn more about sustainable living and how you can make a positive impact. There are so many resources out there, from books to documentaries to online courses and blogs. You can also join a community or find a friend who is also interested in sustainable living, and you can support and motivate each other. Now, I know that some of you may be thinking, but what about the cost? Won't making these changes be expensive? Well, the truth is that many of these changes can actually save you money in the long run. For example, using energy-efficient appliances and turning off lights can lower your energy bill, and using public transportation or biking can save you money on fuel and parking. And yes, some sustainable products may be more expensive, but they often last longer and are of better quality. So it's a trade-off. It's all about priorities and what's important to you. And if you're not sure where to start or how to make these changes, don't worry, it's a process and it takes time. Just take it one step at a time, and remember, every small change counts, and it's not just about the environment, it's about your own health and well-being. So, what's the impact of climate change on our health? Well, it's significant, because climate change is not just an environmental issue, it's a health issue. Rising temperatures can lead to heat stress and other heat-related illnesses, and extreme weather events like hurricanes and wildfires can cause injuries and fatalities. Air pollution, which is often linked to climate change, can cause respiratory problems like asthma and other lung diseases. And climate change can also lead to the spread of disease and the contamination of food and water. So, it's not just about polar bears and ice caps, it's about our own health and the health of our communities. Now, I know that some of you may be thinking, but what about the government and corporations? Shouldn't they be doing more to address climate change? Well, yes, they should. Governments and corporations have a huge role to play in reducing greenhouse gas emissions and transitioning to renewable energy. But as individuals, we also have a role to play, and every small change we make can add up to make a big difference. We can also support policies and politicians that prioritize the environment, and we can demand action from corporations to reduce their impact. So, it's not just about individual action, it's about collective action and working together to create a better future. And finally, what's the future of sustainable living? Well, it's exciting, because there are so many new technologies and innovations that are emerging to help us reduce our carbon footprint. From renewable energy to sustainable materials to electric vehicles, the future is looking bright. And it's not just about technology. It's about changing our mindset and our behavior and creating a culture that values sustainability and the environment. So, if you're interested in learning more about sustainable living and how you can make a positive impact, be sure to check out our next video, where we'll be exploring the benefits of renewable energy and how you can transition to a more sustainable lifestyle.